right, not that this is anything new, but we really need to be focusing on our sun over the next few days. You are looking at live shots right now, just moments ago. This insane explosion on the bottom right quadrant of the sun, not Earth facing, but what is going to be Earth facing is quite a big deal. And as always, with this explosion came some weird anomalous features that we've been seeing here and posting about on the channel. Not to mention a major earthquake took place just hours ago south of New Zealand, but very quickly downgraded from a 7.3 to a 6.9. And guess who's responsible for that? I'll let you guys figure that one out. And also a massive grouping of sunspots that are becoming Earth facing, as you can see in this updated SDO satellite camera footage labeled on your screen. As you can see, 3014. We are going to have a lot to look out for as far as seismic activity and solar storm situations that could affect many things here on Earth. My friends, we're going to break down these situations. We're doing it all right here, right now. Let's go. Alright, welcome back everybody. May 19th, 2022, and we're going to start with that massive earthquake just south of New Zealand, with the original reading being a 7.3 picked up by the USGS. This was then downgraded to a 6.9. Still a major earthquake taking place in a very vulnerable part of the Earth. This would be considered more of the southwestern Pacific, where this quake took place, right around this area, as opposed to more of the western Pacific, where we have Fiji, New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea, all these areas above Australia, where we see many of the biggest earthquakes on Earth. Now, very quickly, I want to show you here on the USGS just how they covered it. This is the earthquake right here, and as you can see, it was downgraded to that 6.9 at 10 kilometers in depth. That's usually a default depth, which means this was a very shallow earthquake. Now, something I want you to notice here is if we go to our National Data Buoy Center, we do have two buoys within that southern area of New Zealand which are shut off. So I can almost guarantee you that both of these buoys would be going nuts right now had they been actually in functioning mode, but as you can see, they're in red, so they are not. So we can't get any readings about how the water changed or if the ground level changed. We don't have much detail about that. It was way out in the middle of the ocean. But very quickly, let's not forget, we also still have the Andaman Sea buoy going off on a daily basis. Take a look at some of these readings. It's almost like every 24 hours, this buoy is triggered once again. Now, these aren't as drastic as they were a few weeks ago, but nonetheless, there is something on the seafloor triggering this buoy in 24-hour increments. So I will be keeping my eye on this part of the world as well. And now very quickly jumping over to volcanodiscovery.com, they show not only the 6.9, but they also show a pretty decent 5.1 aftershock. So we need to continue watching this area, especially if the sun, which is our next topic, is going to be firing off solar flares in an Earth-facing direction. As we showed in the beginning of the video, there was a brilliant explosion in that southwestern quadrant of the sun. Very, very detailed explosion. You could see the solar magma and energy flowing out of that part of the sun, and then a weird looking anomaly that we've been covering on this channel for weeks now. We see these things flying past the sun in all different directions, and many times they are around when these explosions happen. But all in all, my friends, the most important thing we need to be looking at right now, as I let this SDO video loop, you're going to see this big grouping of sunspots here. We've already showed you the close-up version of that snapshot. Here it is once again, so you can see the name of these sunspots that are turning towards Earth facing. Within the next 8 to 10 hours, these things will be directly facing Earth, and they are really showing the potential for solar flares, which we've also been talking about a lot on this channel, which are directly affecting the Earth's crust. And many times we have proven that these solar flares, within just a few hours of leaving the sun, displace the crust enough to where we have more and more strong earthquakes in very vulnerable places. So all this information is connected, and I'm going to be continuing to follow it all, and I highly recommend that you guys do as well. SpaceWeatherNews.com, run by Suspicious Observer, is a great website for this type of stuff. You can catch these loops all day, every day, and I highly recommend you guys get into this type of science. It's very important because it's very easy now to connect these situations to seismic activity and also the disruption of internet, cell phones, and even eventually our power grid. These solar flares can very much affect many things on Earth, and it's just a matter of time before a situation like that takes place. My friends, I didn't want to keep you here too long. long. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. Any questions or concerns, please utilize that comment section. It is very important. I will answer any questions that I'm capable of. I will direct you towards the right source for that answer. Shout out to Canada, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all, and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.